Hi, welcome back to The Word in the Raw. I apologize, the last video that I did just cut off. And we were right in the middle of chapter 4 of the book of Ezekiel. Yeah, just to let you know, I'm changing the format of the channel just a tad. Usually, I would read the scripture and kind of study it a little, read the notes, think about what points I'm going to make, that kind of a thing. I think now what I'm just going to do with this channel is open the scripture and just start reading it raw. I mean, the channel is called The Word in the Raw, right? So really to prepare for it is kind of not that raw. But to open it and then just, open a certain book of the Bible or chapter and read it like spontaneously and try and figure it out there, because that's what most people do. They have a Bible on their mantle or on their coffee table and they just let it sit there, and most people, including myself, are not theologians and Bible scholars or philosophers or apostles, pastors, experts. Like I keep saying, the only expert is God, and I'm just here to read the word. So with no further ado, we're going to finish the part of chapter 4 of Ezekiel that we never read the last time. So we're going to start at verse 14. Just to catch you up a little bit, Ezekiel is being spoken to by God, and God has actually punished the Israelites by having them bake their food in human excrement. Okay, so here's what Ezekiel says in response to this. Then I said, "Not so, sovereign Lord. I have never defiled myself from my youth until now. I have never eaten anything found dead or torn by wild animals. No impure meat has ever entered my mouth." "Very well," he said, "I will let you bake your bread." This is God speaking again. "Very well," he said, "I will let you bake your bread over cow dung instead of human excrement." That was nice of God, wasn't it? Verse 16, he then said to me, "Son of man, I'm about to cut off the food supply in Jerusalem. The people will eat rationed food in anxiety. Rationed food in anxiety, and drink rationed water in despair. For food and water will be scarce. They will be appalled at the sight of each other and will waste away because of their sin. This was back in the day of Ezekiel, but I can't help but think of what can happen in today's world. Think about it. Rationed food and anxiety. What do we hear all over the place these days? The threat of food not being in abundance, that the trucks aren't going to come to the stores, that you better start growing your own food if you want to be independent and self-sufficient. You hear a lot of that these days. And, the anxiety we have about the prices going up and having to not eat what we usually are used to eating. Water being scarce. Some people are telling us that we shouldn't even drink bottled water because of the plastic. But not everyone could afford buying glass water, nor is it always available. They will be appalled at the sight of each other. Does that sound at all familiar? I mean, I don't go out of the house and get appalled at the sight of human beings, but have you noticed that human beings drive each other crazy? Like, we're all human. We all pee yellow, have blood, red blood in our veins. We all need to eat and drink. We all have the same needs, but we all look at each other as enemies sometimes, that we're as if we're all different from each other, but we're not. And I think they hit the nail right on the head. They will be appalled at the sight of each other and will waste away because of what? Because of sin. That's the problem. Any problem we have that you can think of, there's some sort of sin that's in the background of it. Could be very subtle. Could be the sin of pride. You know, it could be a little white lie that we tell ourselves about ourselves. It's not even true. You know what I mean? I know I was freaking out about God, making people eat human excrement, but I don't think that's the real point of this chapter. I think the point of this chapter is really God wanting the people of Jerusalem to get their act together, but they weren't. So he was telling Ezekiel, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And it's because of sin. It's not really because God is a mean God. It's just that the people wouldn't stop sinning, willfully sinning. That's what I'm getting from this. Anyway, this is short and sweet today because it's only really a half a chapter that I'm reading to you. So that's it for Ezekiel 4. Next time we're going to go into Ezekiel 5. And the title of Ezekiel 5 is God's Razor of Judgment. God's Razor of Judgment. Well, I do have a announcement to make. I do have an Etsy store now where I have my jewelry. Not this. This was given to me by someone, but this is a example of some of the stuff I make. If you're interested, just check out Earthtones by Jen on Etsy. That's Earthtones by Jen. I hope you like the stuff, and if you want to buy one, you be my guest. So with that said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back for more as soon as possible. So have a great day. Love y'all. Bye-bye.